Here is your newsroom afternoon brief for today, Thursday, July 17, 2025. Good day and welcome. We begin with a story that has gripped the nation. A young woman says she was assaulted, threatened with a gun, and pressured to drop her complaint, all allegedly at the hands of a political organizer and under the watch of presidential hopeful Azruddin Mohamed. Police say 29-year-old Bradley Sampson, better known by his street name Dirty Doggie, turned himself in to officers this afternoon, days after a wanted bulletin was issued for his arrest. He's accused of beating the woman with a gun, threatening her life, and then trying to cover it all up. The woman, a sales rep from Macdoom on the east bank of Demerara, told investigators she was hired by Sampson to do work for the political party Reinvest in Nationhood, or WIN, on nominations day. She was promised $50,000, but when she turned up at the Square of the Revolution on July 15 to collect, she says she got just $10,000. An argument broke out, and then she says Sampson attacked, kicked, punched, and struck her in the head with a firearm. An attack, she says, was partly caught on camera and widely circulated on social media. Later that day, the young woman says she was lured to the home of U.S.-sanctioned businessman and political figure, presidential hopeful Azruddin Mohamed. There she claims she was detained for over an hour by Mohamed's armed guards. She told police Mohamed himself confronted her, furious that the video had gone public. She says he demanded she drops the case against Sampson and even offered her $500,000 to withdraw the complaint, all while an armed guard lifted his shirt to reveal a gun and chillingly warned her, "Don't feel I don't know you're living in Macdoom." Facing growing pressure, Mohamed surrendered to police at the Ramveld police station today. He was questioned and then released without charge for now. Outside the station, Mohamed denied paying anyone off, claiming instead that he's against abuse of women. His lawyer, Sinan Durjan, told reporters there was nothing sinister about the money allegedly offered and insisted the woman herself is unwilling to face Mohamed in a confrontation.
Doggie incident, I'm against any person abusing women. I'm against that. And that's why I called the woman. And I apologize on my behalf and my party's behalf.
And was that the furthest you went with regards to maybe speaking on behalf of Mr. Doggie or making some kind of representation?
And you would have spoken to your party member as well, Doggie?
Yeah.
Is he still a member or a supporter?
Doggie's not a member. He's a fan. He's a supporter.
But police say they are treating the allegations with the utmost seriousness, and charges could include assault, intimidation, unlawful confinement, and an attempt to pervert the courts of justice. Meanwhile, the man at the center of the beating, Dirty Doggie, is now in custody. He turned himself in at the Brickdam police station this afternoon in the company of his lawyer. He was immediately arrested. Sampson was wanted not only for the brutal beating, but also for allegedly possessing an unlicensed firearm and threatening behavior. Police say this investigation is far from over. For now, both the high-profile businessman and his alleged enforcer remain under the microscope as detectives try to piece together what exactly happened and whether political power was used to silence a woman who says she was violently wronged. More trouble for presidential hopeful and U.S.-sanctioned businessman Azruddin Mohamed. One of Azruddin Mohamed's top organizers has dramatically walked away from his fledgling party, deepening internal cracks for the U.S.-sanctioned businessman's presidential campaign. Versami Ramaya, a familiar political figure in Region 6, has resigned from Mohamed's We Invest in Nationhood, or WIN party, citing deep disrespect and internal conflict. Ramaya, who was a key mobilizer long before WIN's official launch last month, says he was sidelined and shut out of key activities, including the opening of the party's WIM office in Berbice and nomination day events this week. He also says he has been the target of false accusations from within Mohamed's inner circle and made it clear he wants nothing more to do with the group. A veteran of shifting political allegiances, Ramaya has resigned before, twice, from the Alliance for Change and later from from a coordinator post with the People's Progressive Party. This year, he joined Mohamed's win team, hoping to build new support in Berbice. Now, just weeks in, he's out and not looking back. The resignation comes as another blow for Mohamed's party, which is already battling questions about its internal unity, credibility, and leadership. With Ramaya gone, it remains to be seen how the Win movement will hold its ground in one of its strongest regions.
I am not comfortable the way I was actually treated. And if I have to reveal a few things, even when the office was open at WIM, I was not even told. I was not even told. But that is not the issue here. Thank you, Bill. Even the nomination, I was not asked to go. That is the problem. But it's not a cup of tea that I'm thirsty for. I don't want name and fame.
A cross-border legal storm is brewing today as the lawyers of a Guyanese man now in custody in Suriname claim he was unlawfully removed from the country, and they're taking aim at the state and other authorities for answers. Raymond David, a Guyanese citizen, is being held by Surinamese officials, but his legal team insists he should never have left Guyana in the first place. They argue there was no formal extradition process and say Surinamese police had no authority to operate on Guyanese soil to detain him. At the heart of the controversy is whether David crossed the border willingly or was taken against his will. Police sources here have told the newsroom that David actually waived his right to formal extradition, choosing instead to go to Suriname voluntarily to clear his name. Since the legal process can be long and drawn out, David's lawyer disagree. They say this one was an unauthorized operation that bypassed Guyana's laws and stripped their client of his rights. They're now planning to sue the state and other agencies involved, demanding that the courts declare his arrest, detention, and removal unlawful. The legal team is also calling for urgent diplomatic action to bring David home safely and says they'll be seeking compensation, what they described as a breach of his fundamental rights. David is reportedly being questioned in connection with a murder probe, though his lawyers say they have found no evidence linking him to any such case. What is known is that he was named in a narcotics investigation about a decade ago, and Surinamese authorities may have fresh questions for him now. For now, David remains behind bars in Suriname as his lawyers press ahead with legal action to challenge how and why he ended up there at all.
One, the offense in which Raymond David in Guyana does not exist at all. So that request could never have come from the Surinamese authorities. The second thing that is of great worry here is that unheard of, I don't know if this has been happening before, but it has now come to our attention, and we will say to us, and we will say to the Guyanese public, that there is no law which permits, without all of that procedure outlined by Mr. Corbyn, for the Surinamese authorities, in this case the police, to enter our borders and to exercise that lawful authority of arrest in this jurisdiction without the permission or without any law which governs and protects them. So, outright, we're seeing here that these operations in relation to the movement of a Guyanese citizen from this country, Guyana to Suriname, was without the protection of the law.
Residents of Region 1, Birima-Waini, are witnessing significant development under the PPPC government with improvements in infrastructure, job opportunities, education, and healthcare. This was evident on Wednesday night as a large crowd gathered in the town of Mabaruma for the PPPC's election campaign rally. Sharda Bacchus reports.
The People's Progressive Party Civic (PPPC) launched its elections campaign in Mabruma Region 1 on Wednesday night. This is a region that has benefited from improvements across the sectors, mainly as it relates to infrastructure, health, and education. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell headlined the launch, where he reaffirmed the party's commitment to continued progress. He outlined key achievements, including the installation of 24-hour electricity and internet access, the deployment of over 2,500 community support officers, the distribution of free school textbooks, and improvements in health services.
The People's Progressive Party Civic is about consistency. The People's Progressive Party Civic is people-centered. You will never see us being individualistic in nature. We are about your community development. We are about your welfare. We are about fixing the issues, coming up with policies and programs. We came out of the last government from 2020. This is the same country. This is the same Region 1. This is the same Mabruma. This is the same community, same region. And you examine the performance. You examine the difference that we bring. We are a party of consistency. What we say we will do, you can be rest assured we will deliver on our commitments. Once you are willing to work and you're willing to work hard, we will provide the opportunity for you.
Longtime supporter Basil Mendonza expressed pride in the progress made. He has supported the PPPC since he first began voting.
I vote for PP since I started voting, and I'm proud of my party, and I happy to know that what the government doing, the PP government doing for us, and I see a lot of change. You know, in future that I'm glad that young people, take a lot more responsibility of certain things that development coming, like we getting roads, and I'm glad that we even getting with WAF, with transport, and much more other things.
Others who previously supported different parties have switched their loyalty, impressed by the government's delivery.
Since I'm a little boy, I was with the coalition, or you could say PNC. But I find the winning party, so I stick up on the winning brand. I have benefited from the LCD. I have benefited from the development, the road development. I have benefited on the 1,000. I have benefited on many things. Endorse of Mr. Ali, because he's doing just what Guyanese people like me, want to see development.
First-time voter Kim Margo credited the PPPC for creating job opportunities.
Growing up, my parents, they are PPP from born. So I grew up, I said to myself, I have seen progress in the past years while growing up, to my youths coming up. And PPP has done a lot for me, because back in the days, there was not like job. PPP clear way for us as young people to get job. I myself am proud. I have been employed as a community health worker for my community.
Crowell urged residents to remain engaged and empowered to ensure continued progress. For the newsroom, Sharda Bacchus.
Kendell Joseph called James, a 26-year-old Amerindian man wanted for the brutal double murder of two farmers in Tusaning village, was found dead Thursday morning at Cato village, North Pacarimas. Police believe Joseph took his own life. Reports indicate that around 7 hours on Thursday, Joseph's mother, Diana Peters, 44, left their home with family members to have breakfast. When they returned at about 8:50 a.m., his sister, Lornia Joseph, 28, went to the back of the house and discovered him hanging and unresponsive. She raised an alarm, and the matter was immediately reported to the Cato police station. Joseph's body was taken to the Cato Cottage Hospital, where a medics confirmed his death. Joseph had been on the run since July 11 after allegedly stabbing Clifton Thomas, 34, and Sylvester Thomas, 20, both Amerindian farmers of Mikopak Maiko Para settlement to Sining village. Police investigators revealed that Joseph and the two men were drinking together when an argument erupted. During the confrontation, Joseph allegedly armed himself with a knife and fatally stabbed both victims before fleeing the scene. Police had issued a wanted bulletin for Joseph earlier this week. Investigations are ongoing. In the region, the Jamaican government is denying a statement by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security that suggested it refused to accept the return of a Jamaican man who was among 5 foreign nationals described by the United States as barbaric criminals who have been sent to the small African nation of Eswatini. In a late-night post on X on Tuesday, Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said the men sent to Eswatini, who are citizens of Vietnam, Jamaica, Cuba, Yemen, and Laos, had arrived on a plane but didn't say when or where. In her post, she said the Jamaican man was convicted of murder, sentenced to 25 years confinement, convicted of robbery, sentenced to 6 years confinement, and convicted of possession of a weapon, sentenced to 6 months confinement. She said the 5 are all convicted criminals and individuals so uniquely barbaric that their home countries refused to take them back. But in a post on X on Wednesday night, Jamaica's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Kamina Johnson-Smith, said the government has not refused the return of any of our nationals to Jamaica. She said her ministry was aware of reports in the public domain of the transfer of individuals, purportedly including a Jamaican national, to Eswatini. She said the ministry has initiated inquiries with the U.S. authorities to ascertain the veracity of the reported inclusion of a Jamaican in the transfer. Johnson-Smith said if the reports are confirmed, the government will continue its engagements with the U.S. on the arrangements necessary to facilitate the individual's return to Jamaica. For all of the latest breaking news and sports updates, visit newsroom.gy and follow us on social media. I'm Kurt Campbell, thanking you for joining us this afternoon.